What's going on, everybody? This is how Liverpool press in the English Premier League. So they have their number 9, usually either Mane or Firmino, but this will probably change with their transfer window activity. But their number 9's responsibility is the holding midfielder. So he'll use his cover shadow to block access to the center of the field. So when the ball is played, the players responsible for pressing are the wingers, and they press from out to in using their cover shadow to then prevent the ball from being able to move into the wide area. So with this cover shadow, it puts a lot of pressure on the center of the field and allows them to win the ball in a better position than if they were able to then win the ball in the wide area. So by winning the ball in the center, they win it closer to goal. So now on the weak side, we also have our winger cheating and inviting passes horizontally across the first 3 to then keep the ball alive to be able to win it in a dangerous area. So if the ball is shifted to the goalkeeper, oftentimes the player can continue his press, or this is when we can have help from the number 9 start to move and still using his cover shadow to block access to the holding midfielder, but now start to move closer to the goalkeeper and pressing the ball. Or if there's direct access from the winger, he can continue his run, and then we can start to trap the ball to one side. Now, one of the biggest concepts that we've seen is how Liverpool deal with a double pivot. So now, if there's 2 holding midfielders and potentially an inverted winger, and we have then 2 players higher up the field pinning the back 4, this is how Liverpool deal with a 4-man midfield. Liverpool will then push one of their attacking midfielders higher up the field, move Fabinho across, and have a dual access to then cover their number 9 using their cover shadow. So the 9 will block access to one player. The wingers will then press exactly the same from out to in, and oftentimes will then have more emphasis on the players at the back. So as we'll have Trent Alexander-Arnold on the right-hand side, he could jump higher up the field, go into a more man-oriented approach at the back, and then we'll still be able to cover this wide area if a mid-range pass is completed into this area so that the midfield isn't overextended. But now we have our holding midfielder dropping, dual access on this side, and our winger still pressing from out to in. Now oftentimes, if circulation occurs and a mid-range pass is found, the midfielders are responsible for shifting across, preventing any further progression, and creating a line of 3 to then support the player and not allowing the opponents from progressing any further up the field. Then of course the strikers will drop in and the wingers will make them their way back into their 4-5-1 mid block. But that's how Liverpool press